Hello and good morning, traders and investors. This is MDB Modified Darvas Box, and it is Saturday, December 28th. It's almost the end of the year. It's 11:02. Nope, now 11:03 a.m. here in sunny Florida, and it's time for another weekend review. And I'm excited about this one because, yeah, it's been Christmas week, and I hope everybody had a good Christmas and are having a good holidays. And I think we're in Hanukkah also. I don't really know. I'm not religious, but either way, I hope everybody's having a good week. And we've got a heck of a weekend review here. And the biggest reason why is because I haven't looked at the charts for all week. I go away for Christmas, and I put my stops in, and if they hit, all right, fine, whatever. Um, yeah, there's some red hot areas like the little quantum guy stocks. Yeah, man, they're ripping. To be honest, I don't have many of those. So I guess you can revoke my super trader status card, and but we'll focus more today on some of those things, but also on the other things happening in the market as well. In my opinion, it's okay to take a week off. You know, the market will still be here, and this is a journey. It's not a destination. So, but again, we're going to go through charts, and I actually haven't looked at or updated any of them. So it's exciting for me. We'll see if anything new pops out and go from there. The other thing, I put some S&P 500 earnings estimates out there. I've got those up on here. We'll take a quick look at the end. All right, let's get into it. For anybody who's never seen my videos, I'm an independent trader, investor. I've been doing this shit for since 1995 is when I put my first trade out there. I traded in the internet bubble, the internet boom, excuse me, back in the late 90s. And yeah, I've made tons of mistakes, but I've also developed a pretty unique trading system based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. Yes, I'm also a Can Slim guy, an O'Neill guy. I think William O'Neill is incredible, but I had to develop my own strategy, and I suggest you guys do the same. Find a strategy, build the rules, make it your own. Uh, and I use heavily colors on the charts, which means different conditions like inside bars. These little grays are inside bars. Inside is 50-50 propositions, but they are valid trading signals. And that's what I'm looking for, valid trading signals. And then once you see a signal, then you prepare, all right, do we want to trade the reaction? Because the reaction to the signal, the next bar, is really where the action happens. So see signal, react to signal. So other than that, I've got lists, 6 different lists. I'm constantly moving stocks around. We're going to look at the top 4, and we might, if we have time, look at others. But I don't want to make it too long because I could talk about stocks all day long. So let's get into it. So we're in indexes. First chart here, the AMZ MLP index. Now this is interesting because it had a box breakout here. Boom, boom, boom. We don't have any volume, which is fine. But then it formed an inside bar. There's the trigger. Oh, it triggered here, and price went down, and now it's stabilized a little bit. And basically, yeah, that's a pullback. Okay, and the oil market has pulled back as well. Now, what is this doing? It's forming a box range. We know a top here, but we're waiting for the bottom to form. I usually like to see, if we get a low, I like to see a couple weeks, like 1-2 weeks after, to sort of confirm that this low is indeed a low. Because if we thought this was a low, kept going down. So forming a potential sideways box range, but not yet. But there's some things that are still doing okay. It's still above this weekly moving average I use. And the weekly moving average has been pretty decent of a marker. So, you got to figure out what time frames you're going to use. Are you going to trade on monthly, weekly, daily, intraday? And once you pick a time frame, stick to it. So right now we see a pullback and forming a box. ARC, Kathy Wood, I always heap abuse on her, but she actually made a little bit of money here. This chart is actually great at highlighting the colors I use. Pink bar, that's a signal bar with a bearish tilt. Blue bar, the same as pink, but flipped to be bullish, a bullish tilt. The reactions, that was a down reaction. This is a down reaction, but not always. This was a green reaction right here. Yellow bar buy signals, that means a very strong buy signal. And then these orange ones, hammers, which are bullish, and shooters, which are bearish. You know, hammers, inverse hammers. Okay. But again, these are valid trading signals. Are these bars in here valid trading signals? No, they're not. I wouldn't use any of these to tell me whether to buy or sell. But this is how the market will always tell you, you know, what to do, or at least what to get ready for. And then you see the reaction to it. So that one's moving up, but look, pulled back. 1, 2, 3 with an inside here. Potential box showing up sideways. Oil market. Woof. Look at this oil market. Downward trend in energy. What's going on in energy? Is there too much oil out there? Or is the economy slowing a little bit and oil's not needed? Well, I don't know. But oil price is down, which is interesting. Maybe it's geopolitical. I don't know. But it's just something to keep an eye on, because if the economy needs less energy, well, why? You know, and that's where the question takes you. The NASDAQ. Okay, the NASDAQ. Big box range here. You had your yellow bar signal there. Little funky at the top edge, but then we had the strong breakout on the election. Some selling pullback, but you know, it just formed another sideways box. One, 2, 3, a short one. Then it broke out again, but then we went to another watch out signal right here. Did this trigger down? Of course not. It's Christmas week. Christmas week never goes down. Are you kidding? So there was that low. It didn't break the low. Instead, it went sideways. Now we got an inside week. And now this week will probably be a much more meaningful trading week. Christmas weeks never are. And another reason why I just took time off. And there you go, 50-50. It's either going to go down this side or break up to this side. What are you going to do? The trend is up. So I would guess prices will start moving up. But this signal, we got to see. Maybe we take it seriously. But again, if the signal doesn't trigger, then don't worry about it. You know, this was pay attention. But come on, we're going into Christmas. So, you know, where's the market going to take us? I don't know, but we'll find out soon. Ethereum. Well, there's a signal. A couple of signals right here. Ethereum was in a sideways box. No offense, I don't know why people buy this one. I guess it's an okay crypto, but Bitcoin seems to be, totally number one. Mike Saylor doesn't seem to care about Ethereum one iota. So I'm not sure why, but anyways, it came to the top of its box range, struggled a little bit here, and when a signal fails, like that's a bullish signal, this orange, that's a bullish signal. When it fails, that's a signal in itself. Oof, go the other way. So if you sold here, you're doing great. You've locked in a couple bucks, extra bucks, didn't lose it. And then this big pink bar, it hasn't completely collapsed or anything, but it's really saying, yeah, it's had its run. I think that's how I would interpret it best. The FFTY, this is a proxy for growth stocks. Yeah, moving up, strong bull, and now got a signal here, and it's sort of hanging out along the bottom edge. Also maybe forming a box, but it needs another week, so I'm not going to draw it. What else we got? China, yeah, just going nowhere. More red. Volume analysis. I talk about this all the time. Volume is important. In my opinion, it's very important. We like it. We like it. No, we hate it. You can infer what's going on just from the volume. Gold, 2 bearish signals, and with a slight downward edge, but it's not dropping. It's just going sideways. Okay. Looks more like it's being bludgeoned into a sideways range. I do not have any of that. This one's more concerning. Junk bonds. Came out of a huge box range here, formed a little one, and promptly now has gone down and broken downwards from it. That's a much more significant potential negative signal than a lot of other signals in the market, because junk bonds are very sensitive to economic developments. So you get junk there and you get oil going down here. Things may be changing, but I don't know. Insurance, box breakout here, and now it's completely failed. Maybe forming a new box here, but again, needs another week. So we'll see. But what if this keeps going down? Well, no box. But you see how while everything may be bullish in tech, things may not be so bullish in other sectors. And that's what we're looking at here. Bitcoin, let's see, what do we got here? I bet proxy for Bitcoin. What's the value on that? 57.80. So this here's the high. 3 weeks minimum to form a sideways box. So Bitcoin's just sort of, flopping around right now. There's no new Darvas box. Nope, don't have anything there. Do we have any signals? Well, maybe along the bottom edge here, but you see how it's sort of holding that? Honestly, this is a hold. You've bought this, just sit and let it do its thing. There's no real negative signals here. It's positive. Look at that green versus the only red. This is how you become a trend follower. You sit and you do nothing, and you let the market do its thing. IGV, a little bit of pullback, but nothing screaming. Got some volume here, but no signals here. Housing. This is screaming things are changing. So, and also it's been broken down 3 weeks, so I need to change this to a red box right like there. So, box breakout on big volume, and then it went down even more big volume. Something's changed in the housing market, probably because mortgage rates, even if the Fed cuts, mortgage rates are going up, which, wait a minute, is that supposed to happen? I don't think so. I don't think it's supposed to happen. There's weird things going on in bonds and interest rates right now, and that's not helpful. But housing, yeah, I would say that this is a peak. And look, the trend has changed. How about a monthly chart? Yeah, monthly. There was a inside bar signal, triggered to the downside. So yeah, housing has definitely changed. Would you agree with me on that? I would hope so. But if you disagree, then comment in the comments later. Maybe I'm seeing it all wrong. I don't know. Microcaps, doing nothing. Failed to break out. Forming probably a sideways box. IWM, failed the breakout. Forming a sideways box. This index just sucks. It's gone like nowhere. Look at this. From here all the way to here. It's just a loser. Why does anybody look at this? Why am I even looking at it? It's just a big loser. Maybe someday it'll become a winner, but I think it has poor composition inside it. It's just loaded with losers. So avoid IWM. That's my recommendation. Healthcare look at this. Down, 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 down. Red, 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 red. Is this in a bull market? No, obviously not. Inside, but hey, it's Christmas. What do you want? Transports, white bar sell signal right there, but Christmas inside week. All right, whatever. But this, again, what's going on in the economy? I don't know. But maybe it's not all bullish. But the most important companies are tech, so, if Apple and Google and whatever start going down, well, then the market's got bigger problems. But equal weighted, the rally, failed the breakout, but it's, inside Christmas week. QQQs reflected that NASDAQ pink bar signal there. So I would argue there was some real selling here. And it's the first real selling since August. Interesting. What are the big boys seeing? Well, they're seeing what we're seeing right here. They're seeing deterioration in other areas, and they decided, I'm taking some money off the table. I'm going to reduce my risk. Should we be reducing our risk? Christmas week, that's a nothing burger. RSP, boom, 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 pullback, red. End of year, investors took money off the table. Pretty obvious to me. Potentially forming a sideways box. I don't know. We'll see. Retail pullback. Okay. Interest rate, short-term rates keep going down, which means, on this, which means, wait a minute. Which means, yeah. So again, you got to invert these. When this price goes down, rates are going up, doing the opposite. Like there. So when this price is going up, then rates are going down. So got to keep that in mind. But since November, interest rates have been going up. But yet, didn't the Fed cut? There's something really wacky going on. Semiconductors, interesting. White bar sell signal, white bar sell signal. Reaction here, muted. And what do we get? Christmas week muted reaction. Semiconductors have 9 lives. They're the cat of the market right now. But again, sideways. 2 signals, but the reaction to the signal said, no big deal. But this top signal way back here is still in effect. Interesting. S&P, a little bit of pullback, but again, dull Christmas week. SPYs reflect it. Again, SPYs reflecting that money came off the table. See that big volume bar? Now, somebody could argue, and has argued, well, isn't that just index rebalancing? Well, yeah, it could be. But you know what? Who notes on their charts, oh, that was an index rebalance, I'm going to ignore that. No. I just see greens and reds. Green up, red down. That's how I mark it. Keep it very simple. Don't make it too complicated. Which one of these was an index rebalance? To be honest, I have no clue. So I'm not going to worry about this now. What I am going to note is the size of that. That's a pretty sizable one in comparison to all the prior weeks before. Sentiment hit a low right before Christmas, did a rebound during Christmas week. Interesting how it did that. But other sentiment, 200-day, well, that took a big hit. It's below 50. More stocks are below their 200 days than are above it. Interesting. Deterioration. 40-day moving average. Only 20% of stocks are above their 40-day moving average. That could equate to the 50-day. Very close. In fact, why they chose 40-day, I don't know. But this is hard-coded into TC2000. But that looks awful. And in fact, this yellow is like yellow alert, like get ready to buy. And green here means, wow, you got a total buying opportunity. But it's a far cry, from everything else. The tan, solar, just avoid. Short it. TLTs, interest rates, government bonds. Look at that. Box breakdown keeps going down. That means rates going up. Maybe we live in interesting times. The VIX. VIX got real interesting the week before Christmas. Then, of course, dull Christmas week. REITs. Look at that. Fell out of this mini box, but it's still inside the big giant box. But again, weakness. XLE. White bar sell signal. Down, down. Oil, energy. Painting the picture. Financials pull back, but again, dull Christmas week. Hard to know. Utilities. A Ute. What is a Ute? Box breakdown here on utilities. And a dull Christmas week. But again, so this next week becomes important. Very important. All right, what time is it? Let's keep going. List 2. Best of the best. Textbook box breakout leaders. Broadcom. Yeah, that's a good one, and it's been out for 3 weeks. So I'm going to close this box off, and we'll slap a green on that one. Broadcom looks great. Where's your sell signal? If you sold it, who told you to sell in here? There's no signal. Yeah, there was some money coming off, but it really didn't do anything. Christmas week, all it did was go back up. Are there any sell signals in here? No, 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 no. Are there any sell signals on the daily chart? Maybe here, and this was a sell signal, but then it went opposite. Buy it. And you see, daily signals are kind of noisy. I don't use daily much. If you use daily, you got shaken, bacon, jerked around all up in here. Whereas the weekly looks calm. So I know I may be a little rare in using weekly charts, but it's so much easier to interpret, in my opinion. And yeah, occasionally a daily signal will be, quote, the signal, and you'll kick yourself and be like, oh man, there it was. But if you can be consistent on time frames, then you'll be probably more consistent in your trading. That's the whole point of that. Exxon, a little pullback, forming probably another box. We'll see. That's a big bar. What the heck was going on in there? I don't know. The BLND pulling back 3. Yeah, this is tied to mortgage rates, so this probably needs to come off. In fact, I'm going to move it. We'll move it back to watching. The bros, coffee drinks. Box breakout here, moving up. Slight pullbacks, but if you bought this breakout, you should sit and be long. Who told you to sell? The chart did not tell you to sell one iota. Chewy, 3 weeks out. Look at that. I got to change the box. Come on. See, this is all the work you got to go through charts and you got to do this homework and all that. But I think it's just absolute fun. I love sitting and doing charts. CVLT, broke the breakout right there. That is a goner. Put it back into watching. And note, we've already taken a couple stocks off the textbook breakout list. Relative strength of the market is decreasing a little bit. DEC, box breakout, up, 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 up. There you go. Google, box breakout. Sort of a strange week, but it's sort of holding. IonQ, who told you to sell? I sold here like a dum-dum, and boy, do I feel dumb. Revoke my super trader status. Not that in my opinion I ever had one, but I'm good, but am I the best that it's ever traded? No. I'm free to admit that. But look at that, just up, 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 up. Now there maybe have been some scary days in here. Here's the daily chart. There was a signal here, but you see it's sort of only triggered for like a nanosecond, probably at the open. And that's why relying too much on daily charts, yeah, there's a signal there, but you see how daily charts can screw you? If you traded this on the daily chart, you would have been in and out, in and out, in and out. It'd be really tough. And you see this moving average I use? Look at that. It worked perfect. What's a moving average people like? Everybody's all locked into different moving averages. Let's do an exponential 8. I think people like the 8. Well, you would have been kicked out in here. And then you would have had to make a decision to rebuy, and that would have been sort of tough. Or a 10-day moving average. But this is why I don't like moving averages, because how do you know which one you should choose? Should we choose a simple? Well, maybe. And then if it hits the moving average, you're supposed to sell it. You would have sold here. So then you got to rebuy it. You'd have a lot worse positions. So in my opinion, buy the breakout down here and then sit and wait for an actual signal, because there still hasn't been one. It's really phenomenal. Quantum, baby. Right here, bullish signal trigger. It barely triggered on JP Morgan. This also is most likely going to be a box. But is this a textbook box breakout leader at this point? No, not really. So we're going to move it to watching. Actually, no, I'll move it to bullish, because that is a bullish there. Here we go. Here's a box breakout. Boom. Big volume comes out. Sure, it pulled back a little, but that's a good one. KVYO. PLTR. Have you sold it? Who told you to sell? Still no true signal. Stay long. Roblox, box breakout, moving higher. That's one to keep on the list. Rubric, I have this one. So I'm not a total loser. And look at that. A little scary down here action, but it's going back up. This big red made me think, oh geez, it's going to just keep coming down. No, it didn't. So we'll see. Stay long. Reddit, any signals? Who told you to sell? Basically, here's the other way to do this. Put my stop here. Put my stop here. Put my stop here. Now put my stop here. At some point, this will hit. And then you'll say, well, I bought it here and I sold it here. I'm a super trader. There you go. In fact, I may have to do that on Rubric. But I like Rubric, so I probably won't. I've got alert set there. And I got an alert set here. But you see, that's what you got to figure out. How am I going to play this? Where did it go? PLTR, Reddit. Yeah. RGTI. Who told you to sell this? Boom. Look at that. Wow. I always feel dumb when I miss these. Volume, volume, volume. Still no signals. Roku, that's a failure. I didn't even know why I was tracking it anyways, but we'll move it back to watching. SE, I do own this one. And it's probably forming a sideways box, but no signals. Shopify, there was one small signal right here. Maybe a signal right here, but overall it's still doing fine. Snow, box breakout, pulling back. I don't really like this company, but there you go. And then here, SOUN, boom, box breakout, up, 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 up. Who told you to sell? Should be long, that one. Spotify keeps going. Square, 3-week pullback here. This is probably going to form a box next week. And at that point, I'll move it off this list. But yeah, again, you know, some inside bar signals, but that's where you got to make a decision. Am I really going to follow that particular one or wait for something bigger? Walmart, probably forming a sideways box here. Not yet. But yeah, so trends are being bent. I think that's the lesson there. Trends are being bent from going straight up to more sideways. Apple, look at that. 5 weeks of up. No strong breakout, but yeah, it's been moving. AEHR, yellow bar buy signal. There you go. I might have to buy a little bit of this and see what the heck is going on. There's your trigger. What level is that? High was $15.65. All right. Well, about $1. But that looks fairly positive, although it had a yellow bar signal in here and then had red immediately after. That was the signal, this volume sequence, that, yeah, maybe it's not going to stick as much, and it didn't. This one might have a better chance of sticking and forming into something. But it's sort of an odd stock. ALAB, another big winner. Yeah, just move your stops up. High, 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 high. Now it's up to here. Do that and you'll be a super trader. They'll write books about you. ANET, box breakout. No volume though. APP. Where's the signal to sell? Who told you to sell? Still going. Another quantum ARQQ keeps going up. DJT, I own some Trump. And it's above my buy, so I'm sticking with it. Nothing sets it off. General Electric back up into the fold here. Had a box breakdown, and then the next week, bullish hammer, and now it's moving back up. It's not dead yet. But a hell of a trend. Just amazing. GEV, signal, but it did not trigger. Interesting. Yeah, Morgan, we got that. Netflix looks maybe going for sideways, but no real signals. NVIDIA, bullish signal right here, and it triggered higher, but didn't quite stick around. I would call it barely in effect 50-50, but yeah, it's not going down. Little quantum guy, look at these go. You know it's getting close to being over when it's reaching these new highs, these past highs. Same here on this one. Honestly, if you're long this, you got to think about selling this because look at this. Look at these prior peaks. And on this one, looks like they're beginning to realize that with the 50-50. But still, if you bought it, you're doing great. You made a lot of money. But yeah, even I'm these little guys are, well, they're not going to go up forever. Let's just be fair on that. Bearish signals, and then we'll wrap this up. Well, wait a minute. Were there any stocks that need to be moved off this list? Well, that's the bullish. That one looks fine. No, fine. Fine. Yep, that did trigger. I'm hoping that one has a box breakout, but we'll see. It's not a big position or anything. That one belongs. You know, this one, because it did not trigger, and this could arguably be a new box range, it doesn't belong on this list. This one goes to watching. There's a signal that is a positive trigger, barely. This one, pretty much sideways, Netflix. There's no real, it's here, so I'm going to pull this off to watching. NVIDIA, yeah, it's a positive signal. And then these guys are all positive. They may come off. So look at how many, we still got some bullish stocks in breakout mode. We got a smaller list of bullish ones. Now let's get to the bearish ones. And these bearish ones were from last week. Notice the list of bearish ones, pretty big. Let's see if anything's changed. So pink bar signal, which is pay attention, but again, benign reaction. We'll keep it on this list one more week. AMD, I'm short AMD here. I was really pissed off as it rebounded. But look, I set the stop. Did it hit? No, it did not. I was saved by 127.76, 127.51 by 25 cents. 25 cents saved my butt, so I'm still short on this one. But who knows if it's a good week next week. This might be a temporary bottom, but was there any real volume? No, not really. Just people wasting their money on this. Amazon, warning signal, but benign Christmas. This one, tried trading it here. Look out, what a belly flop. Look at that big volume bar. And now that looks like shooter bar-ish. This one could go down more. So you see, even though I liked it, I'm not going to buy it until it flashes a different a buy signal. Don't do it. If it hits that top, that's a buy signal potential, although I doubt it's going to hit it. ARM, white bar, sell signal. Benign reaction, but yeah, this one might be a candidate for going down. It's funny on ARM, I've made more money shorting it than I've made being long it. Shorted it here, shorted it in here, shorted it here, tried it again here. Maybe I got to try it again in there. ASTS, 50-50 signal. Oopsie. Ah, crap. What did I just do? Drawings. I just lost a drawing. That's on drawing 5. Yeah, there it is. That shouldn't be there. See, this is what's cool about TC2000. You can move different drawings. This is the monthly. Number 6 is from the monthly. Number 1 is the weekly. So you can do a lot with that on the program. But again, this bar, 50-50 signal. Everybody in retail is geeked out bullish, but look at that. You've been sitting now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19 weeks of sideways with 3 bearish sell signals. Something's got to give. Housing. We talked about how housing is weak, right? Well, here's the housing supplier. Box breakdown. Housing as a sector is in trouble. Warren. It was on this list because it failed here, but now this looks like it's just sideways. It's coming off, going to watching. Caterpillar, box breakdown, white bar sell signal. Doesn't look good. Kava, I'm short Kava. Box breakdown, and look, it just keeps going down. Down, down. Now I know that this could change over, but for the moment, that's a box failure. The bulls in Kava, if they're not recognizing this, well, maybe they need to watch the video. Big red, a little bit of green, which kept it going from right here. But again, big red, box failure. It's running out of buyers and sellers are increasing. CEG, not an easy one to trade if you were trading it, but definitely a box breakdown. Down, down, down. That's why it's on this list. Coin, oof. Yellow bar signal, and now this is below it. Yeah, that's looking bearish. Forming a box, but the box isn't formed yet. But this is just a tough trader. If anybody bought it above what, 270, whatever the top is here, well, they're all losing money. Not good. CORZ, you should be out of this. Bearish. Here's a warning signal right here. It failed right there, and then a pink bar warning. Red, red after green, 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 green. This is trying to tell you something, people. If you disagree and think, no, this is fine. This is a great company. Okay, fine. But this is how I interpret the chart. So doesn't look good to me. Costco, warning with a little bit of down. That's it. Pay attention. Look at Costco. Red, red, red. A bit more reds than greens. CVNA, pink bar and down from it. Bearish list. Bearish list, benign. Dell, I'm short here. I'm probably going to get stopped out of it. I didn't get stopped out here. So where do you think my next stop is? I'm going to figure out over the next day or two whether I want to keep the stop here or whether I want to move it down to here. because I don't want it to get triggered off in like the first 5 minutes of a bullish open and then go nowhere. So that's simply tactics. But either way, the most important thing about the Dell thing is either way, I'm going to walk away having made money. That's the whole point. Just make money. Make money. Don't lose. Even if the trade loses, make sure you make money from it. DHI, I'm short this one, housing. Why wouldn't you short housing based on what I've showed you? If you want to make contrary bet, hedge your portfolio a bit, put some bearish bets on housing. Puts, whatever, I don't know. But that's how I do it. I've got bullish and I've got bearish. And I try to have them protect each other. ESTC, yeah, it's coming down. Yeah, this signal triggered negative and it's been 3 weeks down from it. So that's why it's on this list. GH, box failure. I do like this chart for the long term. I think it needs a couple more months. See that yellow bar signal? A couple more months, get this trend line pointed more upwards. So this may be this may be ready around June or July maybe. Mark your calendar. Hood. Look at that big pink bar. We'll see what happens. IoT, failure. Look at that. Red, red, red. Somebody took money out. Len, another home builder. What more do you need to see on home builders, you know? Ugh. Gone from the best to the worst. Lockheed. That Chinese fighter jet news certainly came out at a good time, huh? And we'll see what happens there. Meta failed here, went back out here. In fact, this one should go back to the bullish signal. Technically, that's a box breakout. Monday. Box breakdown. Uh-oh. Goalposts, bearish goalposts. Look at that. Sell, sell. I think Monday maybe, frankly, this may have trouble all the way down here. What would be a target? If you're looking to short bet against something, that's a good candidate. Uh-oh, MSTR, big pink bar signal, downward bent. Hasn't completely given up the ghost here, but if you're long it, you should be a little nervous. You should be preparing. Gave you the signal, sit up, pay attention. Now you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. It was fine until the week before Christmas. Now you better start evaluating. Micron, semiconductors, ugh, yuck. Net, oh, pink bar here. Well, we'll see what happens. ServiceNow, the software king. Bearish signal, but we'll see if this develops or goes up or down. 50-50 signal now. Steel. I'm short this one. Why? It should be obvious. And I think it's obvious to you guys that I have more shorts than longs at this point. Because the signals on the short side are more clear than the signals on the long side. But again, demand for oil is going down. Now demand for steel is going down. What is going on out there? Oracle. Well, sort of hanging around a little bit. But this big pink bar signal, well, if that may have told investors it's time to hop off the Oracle train. Palo Alto. Box breakdown right here. Hasn't not had a strong rebound. Did Oracle have a strong rebound? No, it did not. Red followed by red. Qualcomm, ooh, barely scratched back into its box range from box breakdown. I think this one looks horrible, but the bulls are hanging on. But again, technically, that's not negative. That's back to sort of neutral. Goes to the watching list. Race, uh-oh. Failure, maybe it'll turn around. Rivian, pink bar. See, root back down here, forming a new box. Somewhere right there, but needs another week or two. The Stinger finally turns up a little bit here. Would you be buying here? No, that's not a buying signal. But this one here, what is that? TEM and AI that goes down? Man, they must suck. Big red selling. Well, here's one to avoid right there. TMDX, ugh, 50-50. I bet this keeps going down. You know what I'm talking about on this one. I was kind of a jerk last week talking about it. But looks like it's keep going down. Tesla. Okay, you guys are going to like this. Tesla gave a big signal here, and it did not trigger. Yeah, it didn't do, whatever, but stay the course. If you're long, stay long. Should this one be on this list at this point? We'll keep it for one more week and see. But that's a net positive for the Tesla bulls. Uber, ugh. URI, uh-oh. No real changes there. But again, more negatives. VST, I'm short this. There's my stop. It did not go off. I'm going to move it down to here. This one doesn't show traditional signals for shorting. I put it on here simply because it had two inside bars in a row and then broke downwards. And I was ready for that break downwards. But is this really like going to collapse? No. There isn't any big real red volume. So I'm probably going to be looking to either have it trigger off, or if I see a really good opportunity, I'll cover this one. Is this a high probability winner? No. But I put it on, so I'm stuck with it a couple of weeks. So, and then lastly, the Zimmer down, but then I had a good week, but it'll probably end up going sideways. So I'm gonna take that one, put it to watching. All right, so these are the lists. I've got a couple more lists here. The big one is the watching. Like, what do we have on this? See, sideways. Airbnb not doing nothing. This one, ugh. Sideways. Just watching. Box break up with the pullback. So you see, I have a lot of stocks on the watching list that maybe I don't pull over. Oh yeah, sell H. Look at that. Keeps going down. Going through these quickly. I'm not expecting big things coming from this list. So, oh, Ford. Ugh. Box breakdown. Any big signals? No. Basically, I go through this list later and, Globe. That's got a pink bar. But basically, I'm looking for big stuff going on here. Oh, yeah. GRRR. Great pick by hedge fund manager Lance. He pinged me on a DM about this, and of course, I stupidly didn't buy it. That one goes on Bullish. GME, what's going on with GME? Well, not much. An upward trend, but no real big, no signals the way I would run it. Maybe in here. JPM's over here. Let's remove it. But you get the picture how I go through these. So anyways, we got all that. And then let's wrap with the quick S&P 500 review. So I put this out. Basically, the big problem, dated 12/24. The big problem here is bonds. Bond market, it just keeps selling off. Rates are keep going up. We closed here at 59.70.84. Our PEs are high at 28.59. Forward PE is just outside of the bubble range, but you see valuations are high, and they've been high for the last 3 actual quarters, and are forecasted to be high on the next 3 forecasted quarters. They've been very high on the actuals, but it hasn't stopped the market. The money wants in, AI, the big tech, etc. So it becomes a problem only when it becomes a problem. But this is a big picture tool, so don't get too crazy if numbers look bad. I don't trade off this unless I see something so glaring. But otherwise, this is just a good to know item, in my opinion. So the biggest question I have is, why do the actuals keep being small while the forecasts keep being high? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great week and then a great New Year's, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.